Right now at 5, a number of Missouri mayors look to the governor-elect on the issue of youth and gun violence.
And we've got a calmer start to the day and a cooler start for sure. Cold air still on the way later. Details in the forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a Missouri court ruling could determine who has the authority to tax recreational marijuana.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday, November the 19th.
Yes.
All right, we are a hint over a week away from Thanksgiving, which means we're about a week and a day away from Christmas.
Yes.
I mean, it's that time always goes by so fast between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Like
you just suddenly don't have any more time. And it's going to start to feel a little more like, well, at least Thanksgiving over the next few days. Not quite Christmas-like weather. Yet, thankfully, but at some point it will arrive. But right now, though, again, it is a bit chillier out there. We lost the clouds overnight, so we lost that thermal blanket, nothing to keep in the warmer air we had yesterday. Right. So it's a bit cool, but still above normal. Let's start with a quick look outside, downtown Pittsburgh. There you can see it. We've got clear skies. Temperatures are, again, a bit on the cool side out there this morning. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, also looking pretty good so far as we get this Tuesday underway. Future track into this afternoon, not much to show. We're going to have a northwest breeze about 5 to 10. It is picking up on some clouds, and I think there might be a passing cloud or two. I don't think there's going to be quite this many clouds, but otherwise, we're looking at a pretty decent day, and I'm going to tell you now, this is our last above normal day for the next several days. Right now, we are into the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees across the area, so temperatures, again, not too terribly bad this morning as we get Tuesday underway. Remember, we should be mid-upper 30s or upper 30s for our lows, so we're still about 10 degrees above normal. Kids getting on the bus this morning, about 49. Still maybe some leftover wind gusts from last night. Southwest winds 5-10, gusting to 20. By this afternoon, actually, as we go through the morning, they'll shift out of the northwest, but they'll calm down a bit. 5 to 10, temperatures right around 64 and still sunny when that bus brings them home. Clear skies today and into the overnight hours, and at least again today. Now, the Arctic air is still set to arrive tonight, but ahead of that, one more above normal day. Low mid 60s, maybe a couple upper 60s, and remember, we should be in about the upper 50s for this time of year. Winds increase tonight, temperatures decrease, and then we're going to go below normal for the next few days. Details on all that in the full forecast coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a judge sentences a Seneca, Missouri man for his role during the January 6th Capitol breach. Kyler Joseph Bard of Seneca was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison, 2 years of supervised release in order to pay $2,000 in restitution. Bard had previously pled guilty to multiple charges, including assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers and civil disorder. Let's back to the drawing board for a bill named in honor of 2 slain teenagers in northeast Oklahoma. Lauren Ashley's Law is named for 2 Welch, Oklahoma 16-year-olds who were kidnapped and killed in 1999. While their bodies were never found, 21 years later, one man was finally convicted and sentenced as an accessory to felony murder in the case. But Ronnie Busick served only half of his 10-year sentence before he was released in May of 2023 for good behavior. Lauren Ashley's Law would require anyone convicted of accessory to murder to serve at least 85% of their sentence. Last spring, the House passed the bill and it was on its way to the Senate, but time ran out. Now the process starts from scratch in the House once again. The mayors of Springfield, Columbia, Kansas City, and St. Louis have called on Missouri Governor-elect Mike Kehoe to prioritize an end to youth violence. The mayors want the new governor to amend state law to bar minors from possessing firearms. In a letter, the mayors proposed 2 ideas they believe would make Missouri cities safer. 1, amend state law to match a federal law which prohibits those under the age of 18 from the possession of handguns, and establish a better reporting system for weapons-related incidents at schools. That would include the creation of a public database to keep families informed.
In this instance, what is driving us is a common threat to focus on public safety. And so that was the purpose of our letter, and we wanted to reach out to the governor-elect and ask that he certainly consider us as partners, as collaborators in this effort as we hopefully deal with a statewide emphasis on public safety.
In the letter, the Springfield mayor says of the 133 shooting investigations in 2023 in Springfield, 21 of the suspects are 18 or younger. The mayors have requested a meeting with Governor-elect Kehoe once he's sworn into office. A court ruling in Missouri could change who can tax recreational marijuana. When Missouri voters legalized recreational marijuana use for adults in 2022, local governments were allowed to place an additional 3% tax on the products if voters approved. This saw both cities and counties approve the tax, including Jasper County, Newton County, and cities like Joplin and Carthage. Now, this month, the Eastern Division Missouri Court of Appeals ruled cities and counties can both issue that sales tax. Now, according to that ruling, counties can only tax sales and stores in unincorporated areas where the tax is in the local tax jurisdiction.
We only have 5 dispensaries, and I'm not sure exactly, but most of them are in cities. Most of them are in an organized city, and so we essentially would get nothing.
According to the Jasper County auditor, in the past calendar year, Jasper County has generated more than $1 million in revenue from the marijuana sales tax. The Missouri Department of Revenue has not yet announced if or when counties will stop collecting these taxes or if previously collected funds will have to be returned. Well, some Missouri lawmakers push to regulate hemp products. Many hemp-derived products are available for sale in Missouri, but unlike marijuana, these products often lack safety testing to protect consumers. Some Missouri lawmakers are now pushing for regulations that would require testing for harmful ingredients like metals and other toxins. One local hemp business owner says he supports these measures, explaining that customer safety is his top priority.
Making sure people are educated, that we're helping them, that we're modulating them appropriately, listening, and making sure the big thing is to ensure that we've done all the homework for the product so they don't have to worry about some dangerous product being in here, because we vet every company that we deal with. We make them prove that they are in compliance with the government.
In some states, hemp regulations mirror regulations for marijuana, since hemp and marijuana both come from the cannabis plant. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Missouri Southern men's basketball team looks to add a few more non-conference wins. We'll have those details. Plus, parts of India shuts down schools and bans non-essential trucks as air pollution shoots up. And we're tracking colder temperatures. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Missouri Southern men's basketball has been a little shaky to begin the season. Lions are 1-3 to begin the year. However, there's still 2 weeks before conference play begins. Lions still have some time to add a few more non-conference wins. Missouri Southern is on their home floor facing Southwest Baptist. First time these two teams have met since 2021. In the first quarter, Tyreek Jackson finds Jaden Taylor on the wing as he drains the three-pointer. Lions lead by 6. The offense was red hot to start this game. A little later in the half, check this one out. Look out below. Tyreek Brooks, we just saw a man fly. Posterizing dunk energizes the crowd. Still in the first half, Jaden Taylor goes back to work on offense. Tough bucket here. He had a team-high 27 points, and Lions led by 2 points leading into halftime. So now we're going to go to the second half. Southern leads by 2. This ball is up for grabs, and Braden Eccles gets the steal and then finishes the layup on the other end. This game is tied, and we're headed to overtime. Martin Macinas drives into the lane, and Tyrone Wright does the rest as he slams this one. Jaden Taylor would knock down a couple of free throw rather to ice the game. Missouri Southern wins a close one. Lions win 89-87 in overtime.
just showed a whole lot of toughness and heart and togetherness. I mean, those guys could have folded just after the loss with Quincy and the 5-hour trip back, and then only one day to prepare for a good team like SPU. Those guys could have folded, but they didn't. They stayed the course and really got it out of victory.
The Arkansas men's basketball team was back in action last night. The Hogs take on the Pacific Tigers in Fayetteville. Arkansas improves to 3-1 after a 91-72 victory. Adu Triero led the Hogs with 23 points. Arkansas will face Little Rock on their home floor this Friday. And the Pitt State Gorillas are officially in the Division II playoffs as they will host the Harding Bison this Saturday. Now, Pitt State finished the regular season with an 8-2 record and finished in second place in the MIAA standings. Pitt State wrapped up the regular season by going on the road and defeating the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats 23-7. Last time, Pitt State defense allowed 7 points or fewer in a game. It was back in week 0 where the Gorillas beat Ferris State to begin the year. Pitt State will enter the playoffs for the third straight year with their sights set on a national title.
This win right here against a great team is going to set up more success in the future, especially in playoffs right now. And I think we do have a chance at this national championship, but we're going to take it day by day, practice by practice, rep by rep. Offense is down, our defense steps up, and when our defense is down, our offense steps up. And I think that both sides of the ball, especially the defense, really came out here and gave it to them. Like, took what we needed to take and made every play we needed to make.
In just playoff mode. I mean, you're in a 1-week season now from here on out. So our attention to detail, our preparation, and our execution has to continue to climb each and every week.
Luke Nigman was named the MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week. This comes after the Girard native scored 3 touchdowns in the game. One of those was on special teams after a blocked punt. Redshirt freshman leads the team in rushing touchdowns this year for the Gorillas. We're 6 months away until baseball season, but the Joplin Outlaws have released their 2025 season schedule. Joplin is the defending Mid-America League champions as they start the excitement for another season. Mark your calendars. Opening day set for May 22nd against the Fort Smith Marshals. The team will play a 64-game regular season with playoffs beginning on August 5th. And just like last year, game times from Monday through Saturday are set for 7:05, except Sunday. Those games will not start until 6:05. For more information, just visit the KOAM sports page, KOAMnewsnow.com. Still to come, a new study finds that more than 1 in 3 surgical patients have complications, and many are the result of medical errors. Plus, another check of that cool down on the way when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to start with a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We are looking great so far this morning. Skies are clear. It is a bit cooler this morning because, again, as we discussed, we didn't have the cloud cover last night. It cleared out, so there's no thermal blanket. So even though we were pretty warm yesterday, all that warm air just managed to escape on out. Our camera, 7th and Rangeline in Joplin, also looks pretty darn good this morning as well. And we're going to take a look at the future track, and over the next several days, there's really not much to show you, but we will show you the future track just because that's what we do at this time traditionally. As we go through today, again, future track I think is picking up on a few more clouds. I think we may see 1 or 2 passing clouds later this evening, but otherwise we're looking at clear skies. And again, we'll have that northwest breeze today at about 5 to 10. Now we go overnight, and initially the winds remain out of the northwest, but they do start gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. And as we head towards sunrise on Wednesday, winds will shift out of the west, and they'll start gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. And take a look at these temperatures overnight tonight. Falling back, most of us right about where we should be. Some of us a little below normal, but not significantly. But then our daytime highs are going to have a hard time getting warm. Even though we're looking at another day of abundant sunshine, we are going to have that northwest wind, then again shifting out of the west, bringing in colder air. And again, we're going to be below normal, but this is also not a significant drop. We should be about the upper 50s. So we're looking at highs for most of us, low to mid 50s, and some upper 50s will be possible. So in all reality, this is really kind of resetting the clock, getting us a little closer to normal in most cases. But still, it's going to be cold because we've been slightly above normal for quite some time. Now, as we go into Thursday night, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, gets a little cooler out there. We start to see a few folks like Vanita, for example, falling back into the low 30s. So a little more below normal. And take a look at noon Thursday, northwest winds, and look at these temperatures. Low mid 40s for most of us, some upper 40s to right around 50 for those in our southern counties. So a much cooler day. In fact, Thursday, some of us may struggle to even get out of the 40s for highs. Now, again, the further south you are, the warmer it will be, but you kind of get the idea. It's going to be a lot colder than what we have had over the last few weeks. City at 49 in Joplin right now. It does feel like 45 with a south-southwest breeze at 8. And again, those skies are clear across the region, rather. We've got a pretty decent start to the day. We got most of us upper 40s, got some 50-degree readings here and there, so still technically about 10 to 12 degrees above average. We go through the morning, cool start, low 50s, upper 40s, clear skies, and about 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. This is our last above normal day for a while, as we're looking at low to mid 60s for most of us for highs, some upper 60s possible. Clear skies. Clear skies will continue through the evening and overnight. As I mentioned, the winds will start to pick up. We're going to go mid upper 30s for most of us tonight. And over the next 10 days, again, it's going to be chilly and in some cases just downright cold. Upper 40s in some places. Put us into the upper 20s and low 30s for our lows. Now, as we head into the weekend, not bad. Temperatures start warming up and not well above average, but we'll go back above normal. But as we head into next week, ahead of Thanksgiving, you can see we've got some shower chances, got another boundary out there that will ultimately bring us a few showers. We are looking to be dry for Thanksgiving, but do be prepared for some cool temperatures once again. Low 50s for our highs, starting the day in the 30s. That's checking your forecast. We're back with Health Watch.
Topping Health Watch this morning. The threat of post-surgery complications remains a concern in the U.S. According to a study published this week in the BMJ Medical Journal, more than a third of people have adverse effects after going under the knife, and roughly 20% of those issues were caused by medical errors. The study was small, only looking at about 1,000 patients in Massachusetts. Researchers say in some cases, these medical mistakes resulted in problems, including infections that were either serious or life-threatening. They add hospitals need to make greater progress on patient safety. Well, nurses play vital roles in the proper running of hospitals and other medical facilities, but trouble continues brewing. Ted Lindner investigates the business side of the healthcare industry and finds out what's worsening the ongoing nursing shortage, as well as the potential impacts.
When someone is having a medical emergency, many of us were taught to dial 911. But when the healthcare system itself is in need of a lifeline, amid ongoing nursing shortages, who do you call?
The nursing shortage is going to remain a big issue.
While this is a matter of medicine, some business experts say the crisis is amplified by a supply and demand issue. They cite a surge in retiring baby boomers who require more care, but say there's fewer nurses able to meet their needs. Red flags really started flying during the COVID-19 pandemic, which contributed to an exodus of healthcare workers.
Due to the high workload and burnout, many nurses choose to quit.
Enrollment at nursing schools remains steady, but isn't rising as fast as the rate of aging Americans. Because of this, analysts forecast the shortage will last over the next decade. If one nurse is going to have more patients to care for, it can lead to negative consequences.
Nurses are human beings. They tend to make more mistakes when they're taking care of too many patients. And this may also translate into longer lengths of stay in the hospital.
Experts highlight work at the state level nationwide to combat the problem.
I think many states, government have realized the issue. They have been putting more funding to increase the enrollment in nursing school.
Tech advocates also say artificial intelligence could be used to help build more efficient nursing schedules.
What we do is using analytics, mathematical modeling, and artificial intelligence to help utilize existing nurses more efficiently.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves, again, a bit of a cooler start to the day and a cooler day ahead of us with colder temperatures on the way. The latest.
Right now at 5:30, a college in Southwest Missouri looks for safety solutions after a vehicle strikes 2 students in a crosswalk.
And we've got a bit of a cool start out there, still above normal, and above normal one more time, at least for the next several days. Details in that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, in celebration of Native American Heritage Month, the Joplin Library is teaching the Quapaw language to kids.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is, of course, now Tuesday, November the 19th, and we are cruising right along through this month. There are only 30 days in November.
Only 30 days, yes.
And next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas. Next thing you know after that, it's going to be 2025.
Unbelievable.
It's creeping up on us, and
it really is.
You know, I was reading some
all the
posts,
exciting things are at the end of the year, so it is.
Oh,
an
of course.
exciting
Well,
time,
you know, it's got to help brighten up something because it gets a little dark, a little dreary sometimes in the winter time, and so you got to have something to go on for you. It's I read something too where folks, a lot of folks are reporting they're having a hard time kind of keeping track of time since the pandemic because it kind of threw everything off.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You didn't know what day of the week it was anymore.
Right, and then when it gets darker too, you're like, I don't even know what time it is anymore. So
I don't even know where I am sometimes, but I think I'm at KOAM, and if I'm right, then I've got some weather I need to tell you folks about. So we're going to find out. If I appear over there, then we'll know. Let's take a look outside with our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Shoot, I'm not there. This could be a problem. We're looking pretty good, clear skies, and as we look at the MoDOT camera, 20th at range line, hey, it worked. All right, I showed up. I am. You okay? It's all right. I am at KOAM. We're good to go for this Tuesday. Looking good there as well. Future track picking up on some clouds by this evening, but I do believe we're going to look at clear skies, maybe a passing cloud or two. This is our last day with above normal temperatures out there before we start to get a little chilly tonight and considerably cooler over the next few days. Speaking of cool, temperatures this morning, 49, both Joplin and Pittsburgh, and across the region, most of us are in the mid to upper 40s. We should be upper 30s, so we are still above normal out there, but we are cooler than we were last night and cooler than yesterday at this time. Kids getting on the bus this morning, we're looking to be upper 40s, clear skies, southwest winds 5 to 10, gusting to 20, but they will start to shift out of the northwest later this morning, 5 to 10 miles an hour, 64 when the kids come home. Clear skies through the day, low to mid 60s, maybe a couple of upper 60s out there. As we head into the overnight hours, though, our winds will increase, but our temperatures will decrease. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, the president of Cotty College says they're having conversations with the Missouri Department of Transportation about what measures can be taken to promote the safety of students. This comes after 2 students were hit by a car in a crosswalk while walking across campus. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
Constantly working with the students to try to improve safety here at the campus.
Last Wednesday, 2 Cotty College students were struck by a car as they crossed from the north to the south side of campus.
It is on a state highway that runs through essentially the middle of Cotty College's campus. And so it is it has pedestrian crossing flashing lights there.
This crosswalk is located on a state highway and doesn't have a traffic light.
In that particular location, one has to stop, push the button, wait, look both ways multiple times, particularly in busier times of the day.
The president of Cotty College says they're having conversations with the Missouri Department of Transportation to figure out ways to ensure the safety of students. But there are some complications.
They have indicated to us it's too close to add another traditional street light there. There are 2 additional crosswalks that are not too far away.
The Cotty College Director of Safety says he's working with students to help them stay as safe as possible as they walk through the crosswalk.
I have a responsibility to look out for each other, and any way that we can do that, helps before you engage the crosswalk to look both ways. Make sure cars are either slowing down, they see you, or stopping, and if they're not, just to wait before you engage that crosswalk.
One of the students injured in the incident is still in the hospital after undergoing surgery. Both students are expected to recover. Reporting in Nevada, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Before the accident occurred, additional signage had been added near the crosswalk to alert drivers that there's a pedestrian walkway ahead. The college is exploring more ways to make the area safer. The Joplin Public Library invited kids and families to dive into the history of the native Quapaw tribe to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. The tribe's language department shared how it's preserving the Quapaw language with a story time and fun activities for everyone.
It will explain different types of cultural activities that we do, even our songs. I just feel like it's very important to have, because if you don't have your language, you know, your culture is dying at that point.
The Joplin Public Library has more events like this listed on their website. Book lovers in Southeast Kansas had a shot at a members-only book sale. Yesterday, the group Friends of the Pittsburgh Library announced the launch of its fall membership drive. Current and potential members could take advantage of a buy one, get one free book sale on a variety of gently used books. Anyone who purchased a membership also received a free shirt.
The Friends of the Library support all the library programming. So the summer reading program for children, we support that. The craft activities that they do, we support that. We have all kinds of things that the library provides, and we give them that extra little bit of money so they can share it with the community.
The event also featured hot cider and other refreshments. Pitt State is celebrating International Education this week. Last night, the Indian Student Association hosted an Indian Diya painting event. Diyas symbolize goodness and purity, and lighting them is a means of getting rid of darkness. Guests painted tiny bowls to later use during the Diwali season.
I'm excited. I love doing arts and crafts and stuff, and I just think it's like a really cool event, and I think it'll be nice to kind of de-stress from schoolwork and stuff and just get to spend time with friends.
Nearly 300 students are enrolled at Pitt State, representing 50 countries. The International Student Association has events planned for the entire week, including an international tea tasting tomorrow from 11 to 1 on the campus oval. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Hundreds of thousands of people flee the Philippines coastline as the latest typhoon arrives on shore. Plus, diplomatic efforts to end the fighting in Israel are ramping up. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, authorities in New Delhi, the capital city of India, shut schools, stopped construction, and banned non-essential trucks from entering the city on Monday after air pollution spiked to its worst level this season. Now, residents woke up under a blanket of thick, toxic smog. About 33 million people live in New Delhi, and the air quality is becoming increasingly hazardous. SAFAR, the country's main environmental agency, says the pollution has reached the severe category, which means tiny particulate matter in the air that can enter deep into the lungs. Now, the deadly haze covered monuments and high-rise buildings with visibility so low, airlines warned of delays. Now, the situation has set off outrage from residents on social media. Many of them are complaining of headaches and hacking coughs. 8 people are dead after a powerful typhoon hit the Philippines. Strong winds and heavy rain wrecked houses and triggered tidal surges and landslides. It's the 6th major storm to impact the country in less than a month. The region is now in the Cantodunes, now left without power after trees knocked out electricity poles. 80,000 people are in emergency shelters. The Philippines is often hit with storms, making it one of the world's most disaster-prone countries. The most recent storms have affected more than 9 million people and killed more than 160 in the last 3 weeks. At least 3 people are dead after a warehouse exploded near Naples. The explosion happened in the town of Ercolano Monday, and rescuers are searching for anyone who may have been inside at the time of the blast. Police believe fireworks may have been in the warehouse, but have been unable to confirm that. No word on what caused the blast or the identities of those who died. Well, Israel is ramping up its airstrikes in southern Lebanon as diplomatic efforts to end the conflict continue. It comes as the Biden administration ramps up the pressure on Hamas to reach a ceasefire deal in Gaza. Alex Hogan has more.
Central Beirut hit by Israeli forces on Monday as the IDF continues its offensive against the Iran-backed group Hezbollah. Another explosion killed a Hezbollah spokesperson on Sunday. Now, diplomatic efforts to end the fighting are ramping up after Lebanese officials reportedly had a positive response to a U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal.
We continue to be engaged with our Israeli counterparts, with the government of Lebanon, with a number of other countries, both in the region and outside the region, to try and reach a resolution.
The potential agreement calls for the IDF to withdraw from Lebanon for at least 60 days. During that time, the Lebanese army would deploy along the border and act as a buffer between Hezbollah and Israel. But a key sticking point continues to be Israel's demand for the right to strike Hezbollah targets if there is a violation of the deal.
The military campaign will continue until the immediate threat from Lebanon is removed.
Meanwhile, the IDF is continuing its offensive in northern Gaza, targeting Hamas positions over the weekend. At the G20 summit in Brazil, President Biden called on his counterparts to pressure Hamas to accept a ceasefire deal.
We're going to keep pushing to accelerate a ceasefire deal that ensures Israel's security but brings hostages home and ends the suffering of the Palestinian people and children.
The IDF says it's making continued efforts to evacuate civilians ahead of the strikes.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:44 coming up on 5:45 on this Tuesday morning, and we are starting with a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Still dark. Sun hasn't come up yet. That would be the main reason it's still dark, but the skies are clear and temperatures a bit on the chilly side this morning. Our camera 7th and Rangeline also looking pretty good, and by some strange coincidence, it's also still dark in Joplin. But don't worry, the sun will come up and we will have abundant sunshine today, and this is going to give us one last slightly above normal day today. By noon, we've got some upper 50s, low 60s across the region. And we're going to have a northwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, future track, I think, is picking up a few more clouds than what we'll see. We're talking maybe a passing cloud or two as we head into the evening. And we'll have otherwise clear skies overnight tonight. Now we're going to start getting a little chilly. Only a few degrees above normal, below normal in most cases. We should be about 39, our average low, 39, 38 right there. So we're not that far off tonight. Two things happen though. We'll have our winds begin increasing tonight, and as I mentioned, temperatures begin decreasing. So they'll start gusting out of the northwest at about 20. And as we get a little closer to sunrise Wednesday, those winds are expected to shift out of the west. And you see how those wind arrows really picked up? Yeah, we're looking at gusts out of the west upwards of 30 miles an hour. And take a look at noon temperatures tomorrow, low 50s. Maybe some upper 50s. The further south you are, the warmer you'll be, but this wind bringing in that cooler air. Now we say Arctic because it is Arctic air. It's just thankfully we're not talking Arctic blast. We're not talking significant drops in temperatures where you go from the 60s one day for highs in the 20s the next day, which of course that can happen here in the 4 states. It's happened before. Very likely in the wintertime at some point, I'm sure it'll happen again, but not today and not tomorrow. We go through the rest of our Wednesday. Temperatures begin falling back. Skies remain clear. Winds will ease up a bit as well as we go overnight and into our Thursday. Thursday, though, starting a little cooler. Some locations a few more degrees below normal, but again, not significantly so. But it is going to feel cold because we've been pretty used to some warm temperatures. Big change on Thursday, though. Let's take a look at noontime temperatures. Most of us low to mid 40s. We do have some upper 40s near 50 in our southern counties. So again, further south, a little warmer, but that's a big difference. And our average highs, upper 50s. Now, by Thursday afternoon, we're looking to make upper 40s to right around 50. And again, some of our southern counties will get a little warmer out there, but it is going to feel cold compared to where we have been and where we will be today. 49 in Joplin, does feel like 45. South-southwest breeze at 8. Around the area, again, we are above normal to start this morning. We're mid-upper 40s for most of us. We do have some 50-degree readings sprinkled in here and there as well. So we get our morning underway. Low 50s to start. Sunny skies, about 60 by 11 a.m. Highs today for most of us, low to mid-60s. Some upper 60s possible. Breezy again tomorrow. Low 50s, upper 40s to about 50 on Thursday. We will warm back up a bit above normal heading into the weekend. And then we have another boundary by next Tuesday that'll bring us cool temperatures again. Also brings us some slight rain chances, but at least at this point, we're looking to be dry for Thanksgiving, just a little bit on the chilly side. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A popular actor is returning to the kind of role that won him an Academy Award. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minutes.
It is fun. It is.
Javier Bardem won an Oscar for playing a killer in No Country for Old Men. Now he's following in the murderous footsteps of Robert Mitchum and Robert De Niro. Bardem is set to play Max Cady in Cape Fear, a streaming series based on the films of the same name and the John D. MacDonald novel The Executioners, which inspired the films. Bardem will also serve as an executive producer on the series.
This year, we're finally going to make the Wall of Fame.
A town Christmas letter competition prompts Angela Kinsey from The Office to hire a ringer in Hallmark Channel's Confessions of a Christmas Letter.
She hires this novelist to write her Christmas letter for her in hopes of winning. And of course, a lot of funny Christmas hijinks ensue. But I think at the heart of it, it's a message about just loving yourself and that you're enough just the way you are.
Finally, it's a Christmas miracle.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The Giving Machine is making its way through Detroit. It's a vending machine for those not looking to receive, but instead want to give and make a difference in someone's life. Brandon Hudson has more.
It's beginning to look a lot like the holidays in downtown Detroit. The shops at Cadillac Square are open. Crews are putting the final touches on the Christmas tree. And then there's this. A giant red box that puts the exclamation point at the end of Season of Giving.
So the way this works is it's like a vending machine, but it's a reverse vending machine. So instead of buying pop or chips, you're buying something for somebody.
For the first time ever, the Giving Machine is in Michigan. It's sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is partnered with 5 local charities. Spokesperson Chad Lyons.
So you can buy something like a holiday meal for somebody through Focus Hope. You can buy a goat for somebody in some part of the world, which is a way for them to make an income.
Lyons says 100% of the proceeds go to a participating charity and it's tax deductible. The Giving Machine has been in 100 cities all across the world and raised $32 million since 2017.
We just opened today and you already see how many people have come and done some donations.
Even on a rainy day, the allure of the Giving Machine was enough to get people to stop.
Definitely catches your eye, and then again, like looking at it gives you the option. I think it makes it a lot easier to give when you know what it's going to, you know.
We're coming to a place that's high traffic. People have that charity and spirit of giving during the holidays, and so we wanted to make it as easy as possible for them. And there's a lot of good people here in Detroit that want to help their brothers and sisters.
The Giving Machine will be in downtown Detroit through December 8th, and then it will go to Grand Rapids and Midland.
Stick around, we'll be right back. McDonald's Canada welcomes Swifties with a new Bestie Bundle. As the Eras Tour makes its final rounds in Canada, McDonald's is treating Swifties with its new Bestie Bundle. Now, the bundle includes 2 junior chicken sandwiches, 2 small fries and drinks, and of course, 2 friendship bracelets. Now, there are 5 different friendship bracelet options with cute sayings like live, laugh, Big Mac, and share fries later. The Bestie Bundle will only be around for a limited time as Taylor Swift makes her final stop in Vancouver from December 6th to the 8th. The seafood chain that almost hit the ocean's bottom with a bankruptcy filing is showing it's got some fight left in its claws. Red Lobster is making a comeback after a filing earlier this year with Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But now the seafood chain has rebounded with 7 new items on its menu, with several lobster options, mahi fish, Parmesan chicken, and asparagus. And it's offering some new holiday sips for some festivity, as well as bringing back hush puppies and popcorn shrimp. You can also customize some offerings with 2 premium picks.
It's always a good day for seafood. I'm just kidding. I can't do seafood. I don't know why. It makes me sick. But for those who can, get out and enjoy some seafood anytime, anywhere, or maybe even at the beach where it's going to be considerably warmer than it'll be here. We're going to start in the low 50s, clear skies, about 60 by 11 o'clock this morning as we head into our afternoon hours. This is our last above normal day until we get to the weekend. We're going to go low mid 60s, maybe a couple upper 60s. Clear skies, northwest breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies will continue through the evening and into the overnight. It'll be a little chilly. We're going to be just a little below average out there. Most of us mid and upper 30s. We should be in the upper 30s, so we're not that far off. However, so those little swirls, that's supposed to be wind, and that's indicating that the winds tonight are going to start to pick up. Still out of the northwest, but they'll start gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. And on our Wednesday, they will shift out of the west towards sunrise and start gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. And it will also be much cooler. Should be the upper 50s. We will be low 50s. Overnight lows staying chilly for a couple of days, upper 40s, low 50s on Thursday. They will get back above normal a bit as we head into the upcoming weekend ahead of another boundary that'll bring rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday. We should be dry for Thanksgiving. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.